Hello everybody and welcome on today's video. Today I'd like to talk about pots. I want to make a new pot. This is the first that I made. You might remember it. There's a video on it. And I must say it turned out quite nice. It's been outside for a whole year now. It's been freezing and all kind of bad weather conditions, and it's still not broken, so it seems to be doing fine. So I'm probably going to plant something in this in the coming spring, because well, now it's not the perfect moment to plant anything, of course, but I'd like to make a new pot, and I'm going to make it a little more difficult. It's going to be a slab with rocks, so let's go. So the first thing I'm going to do is just fill this big plastic green container with 1 or 2 centimeters of yellow sand, and that's going to be the base of everything. So I have about 4 centimeters here of depth, which is, well, okay, I guess. So what I'm going to do now is trying to position all the little stones that I have in a way that I like it. And well, of course it will all depend on the number of stones that you have and how big you want this slab to become. So just positioning them in the sand, and I'll make a complete well shape. Maybe I'm going even a little bigger, feeling lucky today. Okay, so I'm going to make my shape, and then yeah. So this is the shape that I want to make. This will be the front here. Well, I'm not sure that it's going to be great, but I mean, it's the first time that I'm doing something like that. What I'm going to do now is get the sand off the edges and put it here, and hope that it will hold all the little stones. So now I removed all the rocks that I put it here, but first of all I made a quite a clear mark of the shape that I had. So all the sand in the middle, well, most of it, I will now have to remove. So yeah, well, it's not going to do that with this little thing, but I'm going to take some bigger material to do that, and just scoop away all this stuff. So I have a little piece of wood here, and as you see, there's an angle, and what I've been doing is using this to create a angle everywhere. So well, I finished it, but now you see you have all these little straight pieces. I don't think that they are nice, so I'm going just to go over it with a little brush. To smoothen these edges, so that I do not have well, little straight lines in the cement, like so. So this is basically going to be the shape of the whole thing. And now I'm going to try to find some pieces of metal, old wire, aluminium, copper, I don't care. And I need to find enough to fill this up. These are all, well, recycled pieces of copper wire. And yeah, well, I think that's going to be quite strong. I guess you could do it with a piece of mesh or whatever you have left. So now I'm going to mix some cement and then, well, first remove these wires. And now, yeah, mix some cement, put the wires on, and then a little more cement, and then position the stones. So, yeah. I'm mixing some cement here. It's gray cement with yellow construction sand. Equal parts. So, now I have to add some water. And I want it, well, not too dry, but not runny too. I think that this is quite a good consistency. If I make it too dry, it's going to be difficult to spread it evenly. So I think that's good. It's absolutely not enough, but that is not of any concern now. We'll start with this. It's better to make some more than waste it afterwards. So now gently going to apply 1 centimeter of cement all over the sand surface. I'm going to start with the edges, and I must not forget to make some drainage holes, of course, because drainage is important. So I'll finish this. Just finishing the first layer here. And now I have to put back all my little pieces of metal to make it a little stronger. So I put them back how I positioned them first. And I'm going to make 2 drainage holes now. Something about here. And 1 here. Don't need much. A slab most of the time drains quite well. And now I'm going to put a second layer of cement on top of this. So this is the second layer, and now I'm going to reposition my little stones, and I'm going to leave them 1 or 2 centimeters from the 1 centimeter from the edge here, and try to press them firmly in the cement. I'll also try to keep this cement here fairly wet. Well, of course, the stones are not exactly in the same position as they were before. Now I'm going to slowly put an extra little layer of cement between the rocks here in the front. Not too much. Just at the junction of 2 stones. This might take a few minutes. Trying not to spoil and do a sloppy job, because so I'm going to take my time to do this. And I noticed that the work is easier when you keep the cement a little wet. So using a spray bottle is a good thing. Now I'm going to spray everything nice and wet here, the whole surrounding. And well, I need to clean this up. So it serves two purposes. The first is that I'm cleaning up my little stones so that they won't look too gray. And all the cement is now quite deep into the cracks. And the next step now is putting the sand that is over here nicely over the rocks so that I don't get too much straight edges. Again, it sounds like I know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just trying. So just going to add a little more cement from the inside. Yeah. And try to smoothen this. And yeah, try to make this nicely filled. And also again, I'm going to make it a little more wet so that the cracks are well filled. All the edges are now, I think, nicely covered, and I'm going to get this smooth with my brush. Not that anyone will ever see the inside of this thing, but I think that getting this pushed on with the brush will put everything even a little better where it's supposed to be. So just water and some pressure. So now for the final step, I'm just going to get quite dry yellow sand on top of this all so that the gray cement becomes a little more invisible. And I'm going to work this in gently with my brush. And that's gonna be it. It will be a day or two before I will even try to get this out, because, well, it's winter here, and that means that everything will dry very slowly. It's not freezing, because you cannot work with cement when it's freezing, but it's not warm enough to say that this will work in a night. So I'll be back in a day or two with the results of this little slab and stone project. We are now something more than 36 hours later, and well, yeah, I'm just removing the sand, which can take some time. So I'm going to shut down the camera and then continue. Yeah, most of the sand is out now. So I'm gonna flip it a little and brush some more. And these are drainage holes. Well, I'm just going to clean this up completely with a brush, and then I will go outside and give it a good rinse. but I want to get off as much sand as possible. Well, because I can reuse the sand, that's one thing, and well, it's gonna make a terrible mess outside, so the more I get off here, the better. But I think that a rinse is going to be necessary, in the back too. So, see you in a couple of seconds. The slab is clean now, but still very wet, of course, so I guess that the grey cement will turn out a little lighter. If I had used white cement, that would be a whole lot lighter, and well, yeah, it's different. So this is a 360 of the slab. I think the sandstones, they turn out nice, of course. Well, that's because they are nice stones. Also, I'm quite happy with the edges. I'll zoom in a little bit. So here you have it. So the edges turned out quite nice, because that was the whole point when I was returning the sand against the side. So that worked quite well. It's very irregular. Maybe this part is a little too round, but with a grinder I can surely do something about that. So yeah, that's it. The slab is, well, I'm going to look at the inside, is 41 centimeters, not inches. And here it is about 20. So that's quite nice. That can contain a little forest, a little group, maybe just a few trees here and then a piece of landscape. That's possible. So yeah, that's it. I'm quite happy with it. So this concludes the making of this sandstone equipped slab. I'm hoping to plant something in it really soon, maybe in spring. Really like it. Let me think what your thoughts about this thing are. Now, of course, you focus on the slab. That's obvious. But I think when something is planted in it, it's going to be something completely different. It's going to look very natural, I think. Yeah, I really like it. Well, thank you for watching. See you next time.